चैप्टर 10 पार्ट एफ। एक बारी ना एक स्टूडेंट रियल एस्टेट का कोर्स कर लेना किसी रियल एस्टेट स्कूल चल जाता है तो अगों तो ना प्रोफैसर कहता भी इतने बड़े स्कूल है होर बड़े स्कूल ने रियल एस्टेट एंड मैपिंग हैंड कई स्कूल ने भी तू साडे स्कूल ही क्यों आया है भी तू दूजे स्कूलों च क्यों नहीं गया। वो अगों कहता स्टूडेंट कहता सर जी मैं दूजे स्कूलों च गया तो सी पर वो कहते ने कि मैनू सिर्फ कोई बेवकूफ ही पढ़ा सकता है। ठीक तो क्वेश्चन नंबर नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन नंबर चैप्टर 10 का है क्वेश्चन नंबर 8 which of the following is not an example of a breach of contract. So breach of contract basically means anytime you want to make a contract, so there are three things required: offer, acceptance and consideration. And consideration means basically something of value. So three things required: offer, acceptance and consideration. And deposit is not required. And so the question number 1: after Don contracted with Tony to buy his car, the night before Don was supposed to pay the price and take the car, it was struck by lightning in Tony's driveway and destroyed. So basically deal was about to be done the next day, but one day before the car was struck by lightning and destroyed. So it happened before, so there was no contract. So that's the answer. There was no contract. It is not an example of a contract. Number 2: after Babs contracted with Quinn in May to rent his motorhome for 1 week in July, Quinn telephoned Babs and told her that he was going to be using the home himself that week and that she would not be able to rent it. First he promised to give and then he back off. It's a breach of contract. Number 3: Fred contracted with Jordan to sell him his collection of hockey cards, but one day later Fred sold them to Andrew, who paid him $15 more than Jordan had agreed to pay. So it's also a breach of contract. He sold to somebody else, promised somebody else. 4: Adrian contracted to paint Woody's house starting on September 1st for a price of $500. On September 1st, Adrian failed to turn up and did not return any of the messages that Woody left on his answering machine. So he made a deal, but that he did not pick up his phone. He did not return the call. So basically that was also a breach of contract. So number 1 was the answer, which is not an example of breach of contract. So basically anytime something happened because of natural disaster before the day of the contract actually implemented, it will not be a breach of contract. Question number 9: which one of the following statements about revocation of offer is true? So revocation means cancellation before acceptance. If an offer has a specified time of expiry, it cannot be revoked prior to that. This is false. It can be revoked. It can be revoked before acceptance. Number 2: unless consideration is paid to keep an offer open for a specific time, revocation can be made at any time prior to acceptance. That's true. So you can always cancel before you accept, unless you have given some deposit to keep it open, some kind of value you have given. So deposit is not required actually, but unless consideration. So basically, so there before acceptance you can cancel. So that's true. 3rd, revocation can be made prior to or after. After makes it wrong. Revocation or cancellation only you can make prior, means before, not after. If it's after, then it is called rescission. Number 4, the method of revocation must be exactly the same as the method used in the offer. That's false. So must makes it wrong. Maybe. For example, if somebody make you an offer over the phone, so you can send them a fax back. Not necessary then you have to call back. So basically must you can, but must makes it wrong. So it's answer is number 2. Number 10. Which one of the following is not a remedy to breach of contract? Remedy means solution. Which of is not a solution? If somebody does not follow the contract, you can sue him for damages. You can sue him for specific performance. You can sue him for injunction. Injunction means stop or force someone to do something. Number 4, rectification. So rectification has nothing to do here. So there are 3 things you can sue: damages, specific performance, and injunction, but not for rectification. Rectification means correction. Number 11. John makes the following offer to Mary. I will pay you $500 to put a new rose bed in my garden if Mary accepts. What is that? So he makes an offer, and then if she accepts, it's a deal, it's a contract. So there is no contract because there is no consideration. That's false. The promise to pay is past consideration. That's also false. An enforceable contract has been formed if an intention to create a legal relationship exists. So it's enforceable, it's a binding contract. So that's true. So number 3 is true. Number 4, there is no contract because the contract is not in writing. It can be verbal too. So that's why the answer is number 3. Number 12. When a contract is executed under seal. Seal is a kind of a red stamp. Sometimes you go to notary and notary stamp the seal. Seal basically means it stands in place of consideration. And consideration means something of value. So it's number 3. A wordable contract is. So there's a word and a wordable. Word means which doesn't exist. Wordable means it exists, it can be voided, it can be cancelled. It's a very important question. So number 1, one which never existed at all, even if the parties want it to exist. This is voided, not avoidable. Number 2, a contract which one of the parties can cancel. That's true. Voidable means which one of the party can cancel. It exists, it can be cancelled. Third, unenforceable. That's false. That's false. This is voided. One which offends against public policy or against a particular statute. So answer is number 2 basically. For question number 13. And then we go to the question number 14. One or more of the following statement may be false. A company has the capacity to make a binding contract only if. So when you form a company, you can make an enforceable contract only. Number 1, it is duly incorporated and legally recognized under the law of province. That's true. Number 2, a lawyer acting on the company's behalf drafts and approves the final written form of the contract. No, lawyer doesn't approve. It's the client does it. The contract can ratify by the company. Ratify means going backward. No, the contract can ratify by the company after the company has been fully incorporated. You can't go back. Ratify means going backward. You cannot go back. So which one of the following statements is false? So number 1, B and C are false. Lawyers cannot approve. Only the client approves. Lawyers only draft. And you cannot go back to ratify the company unless the company exists. Right? So B and C are false. So number 1. And then we go to the question number remaining we'll do in the next.